Hello and welcome to how to build Osiris as a support for Arena and Assault. You can use him in other modes. Don't necessarily recommend it, but you can. And because I say you can, I'm going to go ahead and give you a starter build for those, which is the same as you would build any other support, which is Watcher's Gift, Hand of the God, or Rage of the God, depending on how much money you want to sink into it, and if you want an extra ward and some more potions. However, moving into the core items, we have Sovereignty, Witchblade, Hide of the Urchin. Note that if you are playing Conquest, Midas Boots is something you're going to want to pick up, most likely. However, it is not a core item, nor is any boots in my Arena or Assault build. Sovereignty is a big meaty item that is pretty much a pickup for any support. It has a ton of health protections and gives your party additional protections. Next you have Witchblade, which is also a very high physical protection item that increases your movement speed and attack speed while reducing the enemy's attack speed and physical power. This item also has the benefit of being good against magical damagers such as Freya, Chronos, and other light gods who use a lot of attack speed. Last, we have Hide of the Urchin, which is a all-around meaty item similar to Sovereignty that gives you a stacking protections every time you get a kill or an assist. It stacks 10 times, so that means that you're going to get an additional 20 protections in all, making it 65 each. Moving on to damaging items, so sometimes maybe you want to be a bit more damagey than you are. Maybe you're either ahead, or the rest of your group isn't doing so well, or maybe you just like the playstyle of being a heavy bruiser, not as much as a full support. For that, we build things like Shifter's Shield. It's a very expensive item, but in Assault or Arena, it isn't that bad. It gives you physical protection, gives you physical power, physical power, and magical protection. While you're above 50% health, you gain additional power. When you're below 50% health, you gain additional protections. It's a very good item. Next, we have Void Shield. This is good for giving you physical power, giving you physical protection, and reducing physical protection of the enemies. This is a good pickup for whenever you also want to help out most of your party. Say you have two other people who are physical damage dealers, you might want to give them additional penetration. Next we have Runeforge Hammer. Not a very picked up item, maybe a little bit underrated, maybe a little bit useless. Who can really say? However, I do like to pick this item up if I am looking to get some good health, some good physical protection, and say I'm going up against 3 or 4 or even 5 physical players, then this item is very good to stack with all the physical protection that you can get to help you deal more damage and be more lethal, and it has a fairly low cost. Next up we have Ancile. This is a stacking item, so it may not be very good for you. However, it does give you a lot of magical protections, gives you some physical power, and on top of that, you get cooldown and more physical power every time you kill an enemy god or whenever you kill a minion. Now, as far as big meaty items go, we have Stone of Gaia. I've talked about this many times. It's health, it's magical protections, it's HP 5, it's MP 5, and just more health regen. It's a very good item in my opinion. To go with that, we also have Shield of Growth. Note that you're going to want to build both of these whenever you can get a chance. One or the other, usually, or both if you're facing 3 magical users, as it is very good. This one gives you physical power, it gives you magical protection, it gives you HP 5 and a passive that increases your HP 5 by 100% for 5 seconds. It's a very good item. Spirit Robe is a very good item for if you are getting stunned a lot or any sort of hard crowd control. It also gives you a little bit of physical protection, a good amount of magical protection, a little bit of health, a little bit of cooldown. Overall, it's a fairly good item. Then we have Mail of Renewal. This is a good item for again, this whole healing type of passive-y kind of build. It gives you physical protection, a good chunk of health, some cooldown, and you regen 10% of your maximum health and mana over 5 seconds whenever you get a kill or assist. It's very good for arena or an assault because of this thing. You're usually going to be able to get kills. You pick this up as your 4th item. You can usually get really good benefit out of it, and you'll know if your team isn't going to be able to get the kills to be able to make it worth it or not at that point. Now to go with this, we also have Pestilence. This is a very good item if you're facing a lot of healing type targets. So we got Hercules, we got Chalk, you got Aphrodite, Hell, etc., etc. Magical protection, a lot of health, and the ability to reduce their healing by 20% whenever you're near them. Now then, let's talk about a little bit of utilities. We placed all this in consumables because I ran out of room. Utilities are kind of these little things that just kind of, you know. So Frostbound Hammer, we'll start with it, is a good choice if you want to be able to slow. So say you're going up against a group that doesn't have a lot of actual escapes, such as Brahma's rolling back, Apollo's little dash away thing. But say you're facing like Ra's and even Kuangs and stuff like that. Frostbound Hammer is very good for being able to slow a target down. It also has a very high amount of health, making this a fairly decent bruiser item to pick up. Then we have Wingblade. Health, cooldown, movement speed, attack speed, and a passive that makes you immune to slows and increases your movement speed for 4 seconds. This is very good against people like Hell, people like Freya, stuff like that who have slows and stuff, and it's fairly cheap. I mean, 1850, that's pretty damn good. Next we have Keen Size. This is an item that I suggest picking up if you're facing a group that has a lot of health. Anyone who builds Warlock Sash, generally tanks, stuff like that, you can be able to take them out really quickly. With all the other items that I suggest for building that have attack speed on it, you're able to be able to knock off a good portion of somebody's health and help your team secure kills much quicker with this item. And then last we have the actives. These are pretty fairly straightforward. Weakening if they are healing, enfeebling if they are high attack speed users. Guerrilla Support allows you to increase your party members' damage. This is very good if your party's behind, as you can pop this and be able to bridge a smaller gap, or to bridge a gap and make it smaller for your party members. And last we have Fist. This is a pretty good item to build because just the stun alone. An additional 1 second stun means that your team will be able to get in and get kills quicker. Not to mention you can use this before, or should I say you use your 3 and then you use this to make it a lot easier for you to stay on top of somebody to get the stun off on your 3. It is a pretty good item, and building it early at the start of a match means that you have quicker clear and can make your team get to lane faster, obviously. And that's it, guys. If you want to know more of how I play Osiris, let me know down below. If you want to see more games with him, hop on over to some of my other videos. Check him out. He's a really fun god to play. Probably going to get nerfed at some point, but whatever. Thank you guys for watching. As always, have a great day, and let me know if there's any other gods you'd like me to do this with. Bye, guys.